Alright everyone, welcome to a DSP video. We're going to talk about his PewDiePie video. Now, I haven't followed PewDiePie, I don't follow him, I don't know much. I did hear about this Warner Brothers scandal, so I heard a little bit about it. Well, scandal I guess, but whatever, let's get started.
Hey everyone, Darkside Phil here with a special video, and normally I wouldn't do this much of an impromptu, out-of-nowhere style video.
Oh, I shouted a bunch of crunch.
Phil Reacts video, it's edited, and it's planned out, but amongst all this controversy going on YouTube in the past 24 hours regarding this huge breaking news scandal with Warner Brothers and their game Shadows of Mordor a few years back, and in regards to several popular big-time gaming YouTubers who played the game and participated in an advertisement campaign, I felt that I wanted to make a reactionary video letting you know the whole situation and also letting you know an update today on the biggest YouTuber who responded to it and also my take on the situation. So this video is actually not going to have any editing or anything to it because it's completely impromptu and I'm trying to squeeze it in before I actually get into my normal gameplay for the day and streaming for the day.
Editing, yeah, okay.
So I have to do it as quickly as possible. So if you're not aware, yesterday, several huge gaming news outlets broke the story that way back when, a few years ago, when the game Shadows of Mordor, you know, it's that Lord of the Rings tie-in game with open world free roaming and combat and stuff like that. When that game was released, that Warner Brothers provided free promotional copies of the game to many top YouTubers and participated in an advertisement campaign by which they told those YouTubers, please make positive videos about the game. In these videos, the YouTubers were not allowed to say anything negative about Shadows of Mordor. In fact, they were explicitly told during this ad campaign, you may not even call out or show any game bugs or anything that takes place during your gameplay that could be viewed as negative. Basically, they wanted these videos to be purely positive advertisement for their game Shadows of Mordor. Now, a lot of people right up from the get-go might say, well, that's completely illegitimate, and I can't believe that any YouTuber would do it, okay? But
I wouldn't be surprised. That has happened before. So many times. It's not the first.
Where the controversy has come in during this entire situation is that Warner Brothers did not specifically require that those YouTubers who made videos and participated in this ad campaign disclose that their videos were part of an ad campaign. Now, for those who know about American rules and advertisement guidelines and laws that we have to prevent from false advertisement, it's legally required in anything that you do that's considered an advertisement to disclose that it is a paid advertisement. So by Warner Brothers not having that language in their contract, in their promotion, saying that you must show that this is a paid advertisement, they broke U.S. law. Okay, and that's where all the...
But, that has happened. We've had paid reviews before, and the other thing that kind of gets around that is that it's a review. Reviews aren't commercials. Now, companies use reviews to sell their product, sure, but it's not a definitive commercial. That's really the issue. This whole thing, what I got out of it is that it's really Warner Brothers that's at fault. Not PewDiePie, not other YouTubers. It's Warner Brothers. I mean, it's like, Nestle coming over my house. I'm like, oh, be sure to review Bunch of Crunch, but give it a nice, good review, and we'll give you $10. Like, if I do that, if I say, oh, okay, I'll take the money, is that my fault? No, because I'm taking the money. I decided I want free money by giving a good review for Bunch of Crunch, but it's Nestle that is doing that. Nestle is the one that's seeking these false reviews to sell their product. I don't care if they sell their product or not, but I get paid. But that it's just funny hearing this coming from a guy who considers his viewers customers.
Controversy is really coming in. Now, FYI, advertisement on YouTube is not a new thing. Advertisement on YouTube is becoming more and more and more commonplace. And you may not realize it, but any day, any video that you watch on YouTube could be a paid product placement or an advertisement. You really got to be careful with what you watch, and you got to read the fine print on a lot of stuff.
I love that he's trying to say to all his viewers, to everyone that you should read the fine print of all the videos that you watch. Like, I'm sorry, but like when I watch, like, I'm gonna shout out this channel again, Mega64. You can kind of tell that some videos that they put out are commercials, but like you know that already because they do skits, and obviously game companies are gonna ask them to do skits for their game or product or what have you. But like to me, is if you're being transparent about it, it's fine. It's not like Mega64 is saying like, oh, we decided to do a video about the Metal Gear Solid HD collection or Peace Walker. We decided to do these commercials because we wanted to. No, they've openly stated in in their podcast that these were videos done for commercials. Like they've been paid or commissioned to do these videos. I mean, obviously, it's not a review. It's not like they're reviewing the game in those videos, so it's like understandable. But it's like if you're being transparent about it, who cares? I don't really care since PewDiePie at least told us that his review was paid for. I know what to expect in that review, but I can still watch that review and do more research. Phil doesn't think that any normal human doesn't do research. He is the only person that doesn't do research. Maybe next to his fans that refuse to research anything he says because he's the king of hypocrisy.
Your big-time favorite YouTubers all of a sudden mentioning a certain product or game or something out of the ordinary that normally they wouldn't mention, it's probably because of this. And
like his Patreon, like his well, he used to be part of the Amazon Associates, but he said fuck that because he wasn't allowed to talk about it. See, you can't shit on other YouTubers for doing stuff that you do. Like, I have no product placement. I don't sell a product to you. I mean, yeah, I like Bunch of Crunch, what do you do? But I'm not getting paid here. I would never, if someone can, I mean, I would never for these videos, specifically for this channel, for this DSP channel, I would never push a product that I'm being paid for. The only product I'd ever push on this channel is my main YouTube channel or stuff that I made. Nothing else. I would not sell you a product that I had no part in. I would not sell you Bunch of Crunch. I'm sure someone's gonna say, Theo, you're bought by Bunch of Crunch, I know it!
You just gotta kind of realize that YouTube is kind of the wild west of media right now.
No, it's not.
Let's face it, if you watch television in this day and age, 9 times out of 10, anything you see on television is going to be some kind of a paid advertisement or a product placement or have some kind of promotion behind it, but we know that about television. We don't necessarily know that about YouTube.
No, we do.
Watch YouTube and we go to our favorite YouTubers' channel.
Dude, it's so easy. Like, I knew that Mega64 started doing commercials just by watching their videos, and they've openly stated that they are doing commercials as well as their own stuff. You don't have to like do research or know that YouTubers do that because YouTube is such an unstable job that YouTubers are seeking sponsorships. Like Darkside Phil. This Darkside Phil guy was trying to get a sponsorship and never got it. It's just that's how it is. And everyone knows that YouTube is a commercial. I mean, as soon as we got ad rolls on videos, the ads that roll before the video, we started to see that there's commercials for it. I think even Cloverfield used YouTube to sell their movie. Like, they uploaded a viral clip that was like, nothing, and then they were like, oh, I had to see that clip was actually for Cloverfield. I think it was Cloverfield that did that, but I mean, everyone uses YouTube at this point. I mean, obviously, there's people are going to use YouTube to sell things. It's so obvious. No one thinks that anymore. No one thinks this is an ad. What? Like no one's shocked. No one's shocked.
We kind of want to take it with a grain of salt that what they're saying is true. and not have to second guess everything that they say that, oh, maybe this is a product advertisement, or this is illegitimate, or this is false, and they're doing it for a paycheck, right? So when this scandal broke on the internet yesterday, it was huge news and eye-opening for a lot of people who normally wouldn't have even known that anything on YouTube is a paid advertisement. Obviously, that's a very naive attitude to have, but I think a lot of people were like, wow, really? I didn't know that. Now, in particular, the reason that some people...
No, people are upset because they were surprised that PewDiePie had a paid review. It wasn't that, oh, people can have paid reviews. That's not a groundbreaking concept, because that's been around for a while now. It's that they're surprised that that YouTuber was caught and had his hand caught in the cookie jar, even though he has openly stated that he knew that he openly stated that he was being paid to review the game.
Are having issue with this scandal that broke yesterday is because the biggest gaming YouTuber and biggest YouTuber ever, PewDiePie, was specifically called out in all of these news articles, basically saying PewDiePie was a part of this campaign. We have concrete proof that he was the biggest YouTuber who was involved, and he got paid at least tens of thousands of dollars for his coverage of Shadows of Mordor, which basically was all a paid advertisement. So all these articles came out yesterday on the internet, and a lot of people responded. A lot of people did their own YouTube videos about it, and I kind of sat back and said, I'm going to wait and see what happens before I make my responsive video about it, because
he was waiting to see how popular it was before he did a video.
I want to see how other big YouTubers will react to it. And it's been a mixed bag. Some YouTubers are staunchly against this kind of practice. Some YouTubers say, listen, advertisement is advertisement, and as long as the YouTuber discloses it, you know, shame on you for not checking the video description and knowing that what they're doing is a paid advertisement and not a legitimate video or not legitimate gameplay of a game, etc. You should know better, you know, buyer beware. You know what I mean? I guess more in this case it would be viewer beware, that what you're watching is actually legitimate. And, in fact, the reason I'm making this video directly is because PewDiePie himself responded this morning. He posted up a video in direct response to all of this controversy. Even his thumbnail for the video is a clickbait. It's just exposed over it with him on it. So basically he's parodying everything that these news articles did, which is actually kind of smart, tongue-in-cheek, it's funny, it's a cool way to get people to check out his response video to everything that's been negatively said about him in the past 24 hours. In his response video, his defense and argument is that everything in the media right now about him is slander, that it's completely untrue. Now, the reason that it's untrue is not that he did not participate in the program. In fact, he openly, publicly admits he did participate in this advertisement program for Shadows of Mordor, but what he presents as his defense is that those videos always had disclosure in the description of the video that it was a paid advertisement. That up front, he always admitted in the description of the video that it was a paid advertisement. So how is he the guy who they're splattering his face all over all these news articles as the face of the scandal, PewDiePie, part of the Warner Brothers scandal, when in reality, even though Warner Brothers did not legally require him to, he did actually legally disclose that his videos for Shadows of Mordor were paid advertisements. You know what? PewDiePie has a huge point. That's 100% legally legitimate that he said, I went out of my way to cover my ass and show that this was a paid advertisement. Therefore,
see, I will give credit to PewDiePie. At least he was transparent about it, which is more than we can say about our dear friend Darkside Princess over here, who isn't very transparent with his YouTube channels. He has a lot of plugs. He plugs like 5 things now. He shows so many things on his channel that it's kind of almost hard to keep track of, because it's so many things. I mean, even in this description, he has all these things that he's plugging, but he keeps claiming that he's not doing it for money, he's just doing this for fun, and he's not. He's doing it for money. He considers his viewers customers. No one talks to their fans like that, or their viewers. I mean, you know, if you watch my videos, you watch my videos. I'm not gonna think you're customers. You're people. You're people. Yeah, it's just not that big of a deal either. Oh.
Everyone who's kind of slandering me in the media is doing it for a cheap pop, right? and not because what they're reporting is legitimate. I'm actually not part of the scandal because I did disclose up front that that I had a paid advertisement in those videos. So I agree with him there. I think that if that line of argument, he's absolutely correct. It's unfair. It's absolutely unfair that the media is portraying him like the scapegoat or the straw man or whatever you want to say, whatever the target of ire of the internet, right? Because he took a paycheck to play Shadows of Mordor. He disclosed in his videos that they were paid advertisements. So how can you hold this against the guy, right? But I think he's missing the point, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But it's interesting.
How is he missing the point? Him saying that he puts in the description that it's a paid advertisement, he fully understands the fallout that this could have, because he's aware that people don't like paid reviews. He's aware that how people are going to react to when they find out, when they see paid reviews. He's saying that, look, I know you're angry at me for saying that, for doing a paid review, but I openly stated this was a paid review. I mean, if you're angry that I did a paid review, that's one thing. But he said that he was just going on the side that I wasn't misleading you. Excuse me, and there you go. I mean that he's not missing the point. It's just he is defending himself against the argument that he was misleading people. That is kind of a natural thought when you see these kind of articles, because people would naturally think that PewDiePie would mislead his viewers by having these paid reviews. And he's saying, look, I do paid reviews, but I'm not misleading you because I'm telling you that this video was paid for.
Because immediately as he started posting that up, you got big YouTubers are coming out and posting supportive comments in the description on that video, or not the description, the comments of the video, and YouTubers are responding to it. You see, PewDiePie's innocent, and you all went crazy on him for nothing, yada, yada, yada. And it's interesting to see the responses because it really says something about the people who are responding, and I'll explain in a moment. So here's my response to the entire situation, all right? Quite honestly.
So let's see. 8 minutes. 8 minutes.
It's 2016. Now, Shadows of Mordor was, 2-3 years ago, right? So we're talking a game that's already over 2 years old. And just now it's publicly coming out, wow, people may have been paid to advertise this game and only say positive things about it. No shit. And I hate to say this because I think a lot of people are just so damned naive. But you do realize that most people who are the top YouTubers are the top YouTubers for a reason.
Again, Phil is missing the point. People aren't upset or talking about this because this is the first time they've heard about paid reviews. That's not what they're angry about. They're angry about that he did a paid review. It has nothing to do with oh man, a paid review on YouTube. This is so unheard of because everyone knows that exists. It's just that people are upset that he did it because it's like it's just disappointing for people. It's like, these people had this respect for PewDiePie, and then they see him do this, and they might lose respect, despite him openly stating that that this was a paid review from the beginning. Sure. But that's what people are upset about. Not that, oh, this is the first time I can't believe that Warner Brothers is using YouTube as a way to advertise their games.
Right? Like, you know this, right? And yes, a lot of it has to do with luck and viral popularity, but once they get that piece of celebrity...
Oh, but here we go. See, we're getting to the real meat of why this video exists, so sit tight, buddies.
Once they get that attention, right, they then get all these opportunities that other YouTubers don't get, and it allows them to stay on that gravy train. It allows them to get exclusive access to events, to get exclusive coverage of games before anyone else, to get this opportunity and that opportunity because of the popularity they have. And I think that people have this air of naivete.
Oh my god, listen to all these words that he's using. Like he wants to make himself sound really smart when he's talking about fucking YouTube channels. Like, when I type on DSP, it's not like I'm gonna whip out a freaking thesaurus and be like, oh, well, this and use like these big words. I mean, there's nothing wrong, but I mean, it's just whatever, Phil.
That when you watch a YouTuber put up a video on their channel, that it's
That
legitimate.
sounds smart.
Because that's their YouTube channel and they're being real with you, and that's what's presented on YouTube. And the bottom line is, for most of these top YouTubers in this day and age, that's not the case. A lot of what you see on YouTube is considered a paid advertisement, where people are purposely promoting a product placement, what people are wearing in videos and doing, and what's in the background of their videos. As you can see, I've got no sponsored product. No, I don't get paid by Astro to show my Astro A40 headphones.
This is ridiculous. Like he sponsors himself. Technically, I mean, most content creators do, which is fine. I don't mind. I don't think that there's anything wrong with him plugging his Patreon, for example. I don't think that that's necessarily bad, because Patreon to me is a great website for people to give options for fans to, if they want to support them. I really don't. Even with DSP fans, if they want to support him through Patreon, that's fine. My issue with his Patreon is that it's just a scam. That he gives the rewards he gives in exchange for your money doesn't add up to me. Like, it's the most expensive Patreon that I've seen for what he does. Mega64, is a it's pretty much a group of people who do these skits, sketches, all this stuff. Their Patreon is cheaper than Phil's, and you get more stuff out of it than his, which is kind of sad. I mean, like, at this point, why would you donate to him when you could donate to Mega64 and get more stuff out of their rewards? Like, you get, like, their Patreon is way better than his, just in comparison, because you don't get much out of him, and that is the issue with his Patreon. But this whole thing with, like, all these big YouTubers, all these videos that they're doing is a paid advertisement and all this kind of stuff is like, of course it's a paid advertisement. I mean, like, you just have to look at how they talk, and, they don't, that's the thing, like, companies will definitely give people, like, a script to go on. Like, it's like, oh, you must say this. Like, for example, one of Mega64's Nintendo videos that he did, Nintendo told him, be sure to mention the Best Buy tournament for Super Smash Bros. Be sure to mention the Treehouse event. Be sure to mention this, okay? But other than that, do whatever you want with this video, and but just mention those things. And they formed a video around that. But if it's just like, an organic video that's just like, oh yeah, just fucking around, and they're saying stuff that, a company would not want them to say, you can kind of tell that it's genuine.
My fucking videos, it just so happens this is what I use daily, and what, I'll put it on the ground so people don't accuse me of taking a paycheck from Astro, because I don't. But there's all the things
he just takes a paycheck. He did take a paycheck from Amazon, but now he's taking a paycheck from Loot Crate.
YouTubers' videos are there for a reason, and people don't realize that. They just think, oh, these people are real or whatever. In a lot of cases, that's not the case. YouTube, as I said earlier, is the wild west of media advertising, and advertisers realize this. They realize this is a direct line to the youth of the world, that most people are not watching mainstream television who are younger anymore. We're watching stuff on the internet. So let's get those advertisement dollars into YouTube and get them in the hands.
That's not necessarily the case. These people still watch TV. Kids still watch TV. They're not on just YouTube.
The YouTubers who have the biggest views, and they could basically push the products to people. And it's commonplace. It's for anyone who does YouTube as a living, we know this. But I think amongst the common viewers, they don't get this, all right? So
it was still treating the common viewer like they're idiots.
For me, right, being who I am, I'm kind of the antithesis of all of that, all right? I started on YouTube in 2008. I did this on a whim, as a hobby, as a joke.
Antithesis.
And I didn't make a penny doing it until...
Was he trying to say antithesis? Who cares?
Early 2011. And when I started doing it full time, I basically treated it as, this is legitimate. I don't work for anyone. I'm not contracted with anyone. I'm not under any.
But I don't get how he said how he claims, or like I never understand how he means that. Oh, I did YouTube as a joke. Like, what was the joke? That's like me saying, guys, this channel is a joke. Are you laughing yet? It's funny, right? This is the best joke you've seen. Like, come on. Like, I do this for fun. He does this for fun. Well, he did do it for fun at one point. That's the other thing. Like you see with DSP is that when he was younger, it was like more like kind of raw. I mean, he was still kind of like a train wreck, but at least it was like okay. Now it's like when he modern contemporary Phil is just he keeps shooting his foot. He keeps putting himself in these bad situations.
Advertisement agreement. When I play a game or I review a product or I put out a video, it's legit. Every video I've ever fucking posted on YouTube was a legitimate video, and even the very few advertisement campaigns that I've ever participated in, one of them in particular, I remember, was a game called Hawken back in 2012, because that was the reason I got flown out to E3 was to cover this game Hawken, and I played it. At the time, I thought it was pretty good, but they completely flubbed the launch of the game. The game was supposed to come out in the fall, then it didn't, it got delayed, then it was supposed to come out the next month, it didn't, it got delayed, and by the time it had come out, no one cared about it anymore because they flubbed the launch of it 3 times. And I publicly said that. I said, you know, this was a game I was supposed to cover, but I don't really care about it anymore because they fucked it up.
Wow.
And that's how I am.
Wow, that's... I feel sorry for that company that paid him to do that then. They paid him to not cover it then. Wow. Wow,
legitimate person. When you watch any of my 50,000...
See, he was also trying to get a sponsorship as well, which... Oh man, this whole video is just him contradicting himself. He tried to get a sponsorship, that didn't go through, and now he's like... Dude, I bet he doesn't get a sponsorship because of videos like this. Because he just said that he got a free copy of Rock Band. Did everyone just forget about that? Like, God.
More videos on YouTube, you can know that Phil, who's been here since 2008, is putting out legitimate coverage of stuff. And yes,
legitimate
my gameplay
coverage,
is raw, my gameplay is unedited, and a lot of people will argue my gameplay is nowhere near as entertaining as someone like PewDiePie or any of the top gaming YouTubers who take their stuff and they abridge it and they edit it together.
Abridge
to almost
it.
a funniest moments montage.
Funniest moments montage. Oh my god, like the only people that I think need to edit their videos more would be Game Grumps. I don't know if they've done that yet, but I watched their Wind Waker playthrough. I hated it. I stopped watching it because it was pissing me off, just by how dumb they were with it, which surprised me. Wind Waker it's not that hard. It's very easy, but not very easy, but it's not fucking rocket science, but They don't abridge it. They don't do montages. It's different. When you do montages, it jumps around. They edit out so many fails that are not funny, that might drag down the pace. It's much better than watching him play Resident Evil 5. And his playthroughs are so distracting. As you're streaming it, it's not even fun because you're sitting there and he gets distracting just by you noticing that he's like hitting stop recording, start recording, stop recording. Like you know when a video ends and when a video begins, not even by hearing the clicks, which you can kind of hear sometimes, but you could just tell by how he's talking. When he's like, oh, like there was one part in the stream I was watching. He was going up the stairs. He stops at the stairs, like, oh, I wonder what's up there. We're gonna see what's up there. Stop recording. Start recording. Alright, we're gonna go see what's up here. Like, he literally said, he literally said that, which is just like, this isn't very conducive to a stream. There's no definitive way to watch your videos. It's either watch them, like, when you watch them on YouTube, it seems to be the most definitive way to watch them because that's how he structures them. When you watch it when he's streaming it, you'll get nothing out of it. There's no interaction with the stream. There's no, the only interaction you get is him looking for help. Great interaction.
Right. Let's take the funniest reactions and overreactions and really highly edit everything.
Overreactions from the guy who just does this every time he plays. Ooh, 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 ah, ooh, oh, 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 nama, nama, nama. Like, oh my god, he does so many clown noises. And this video also kind of proves that Phil is literally everything he hates in 2016. So, clap for Phil.
Production value and give you a 30-minute abridged version of the game where all the funny stuff happens and you get a quick laugh, ha ha ha, and you move on. That's not what you get with me. But what I could tell
Yeah,
you
you
is
get a dragging experience that's not funny. A guy trying to that has the most boring commentary you can imagine. You can imagine. Like I just recorded a well, not commentary really, but a playthrough of Life is Strange. I did episode 3, and my commentary isn't that earth shattering, but it's not me saying like, oh man, oh, Max is going down the hallway and there's a door that's open. Now I gotta figure out how to make a pipe bomb, guys. Like, that's not fun. It's not fun sitting there and listening to a guy explain what's on the screen.
every fucking video I've ever put out is legit. I don't take a
Yeah,
paycheck
legit.
to say something about a game or to edit out the bad parts of a game. When you watch me play a game, you get the whole game at face value. And that's the appeal.
No, you don't. You get a game that he just fucks around and he has a terrible experience. He went out of his way. I'm convinced he went out of his way in Resident Evil 5 to make that game annoying for him. Because I have played Resident Evil 5 2 times. Like the first time I played it back when it came out originally, I hated the Shiva AI because she just kept going through ammo and herbs and all this stuff. And then I played with co-op and all that stuff, which is fine. I played it again like when it came out on PS4, and I liked it a lot more because I actually understood because I knew the AI was gonna fucking burn through shit. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give her ammo. All the herbs I'm gonna keep for myself. Healing items, I'll hold on to that because I don't want her to waste them because healing items are way more important in Resident Evil. You need healing items. Ammo is like, okay, that's fine. And Resident Evil 5 gives you a good amount of ammo. So, the only issue I had when I was playing with her is that she kept reloading ammo when I needed it, but it wasn't like, oh, like I wasn't like DSP where the whole time in his playthrough, he was hating it. He was like, oh, Shiva is wasting my herbs! Ugh, oh my god, stupid AI. Like, he sounded at that point I was like applauding Sheva. I was like, yes, Sheva, fuck him up. Yes, Sheva, just waste all his ammo, waste everything. She was basically trolling him. Basically, Sheva is now an honorary member of the It's Okay.
My content on YouTube is that when you watch it legitimately, you'll know what that game is going to be when you play it. When you actually pick up your controller and go to play a game on any given day, this is the kind of experience that you're going to have. Okay?
Nope.
And that's what I pride myself on, being legit. When I review a game, I cover all the aspects of the game, not just the positive ones or the ones that really...
Dude, watch his Doom review. He sucks that game's dick so hard. It's kind of sad. Like, I like Doom. Doom is great. I love it. But it has a lot of faults in it. Like, the ending is kind of bland. Like, it's just kind of like leaves you wanting more, which is kind of a shitty way to end, in my opinion. The final boss I didn't really like either. I thought the Cyber Demon was the better boss. But and even just the journey to the final boss was better than the final boss, but like, he sucked that game's dick so hard that it was so hard not to take seriously. Like, I couldn't take it seriously because he wanted to love it. He wanted to sleep with it. And then when he's playing Ghostbusters, he was hyping that game up just to shit on it. He was like, "Oh man, it's gonna be such a shitty game. It's gonna be great. Oh man, it looks so bad, guys. I'm taking the plunge. I'm gonna play a shitty game." And by the way, this is what I was talking about. For like 8 minutes, he was talking about the whole thing. We're 13 minutes in, and he's still talking about and now he's talking about his channel. This video exists to sell him. He's using this as a commercial for him. And it's not gonna work in my opinion, but whatever.
To me, the negative ones, I try to see a game in perspective of everything that's out there so that you
Yeah,
can know, gee,
yeah,
in regards
sure.
to the 25 games that are popular right now, which is the best one that I should spend my money on, I could give you that information in a game review, and a lot of other reviewers don't
No.
do that kind of
No,
stuff.
no, 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 no. His reviews suck.
But I think the problem is, yeah, there aren't a lot of people like me, or there are people like me, but they're not the popular YouTubers. Right? These popular YouTubers are out there doing the highly edited content because they want to present a product to you for you to laugh and enjoy and like and subscribe and buy their merch and do all the bullshit and not actually care about the legit
Bullshit. Yes, liking their videos, subscribing to the person you like, and buying their merch of the people you like is all bullshit. But go to watch DSP, subscribe to his channel, his 3 channels, like all his videos, donate to his Patreon, go to his Loot Crate, and follow him on Twitter. Do that, but subscribing to other YouTubers, liking their videos, and buying their merch is all bullshit. But doing all the things that DSP plugs every day isn't. Come on.
legitimacy of what you're watching. And anyone who would take a paycheck to put out a paid advertisement for a game, especially when the majority of content on your channel is supposed to be legitimate gameplay, all of a sudden now you're doing a paid advertisement campaign, a lot of people are going to be suspect about that. Now, in particular, in regards to this whole Warner Brothers scandal.
But, like, how would anyone be suspect to PewDiePie now? Because he openly stated, like he said in the video, that he took money to make that review. He said it in the review itself. That to me has a precedent that logic would dictate, at least in my opinion, that he would drop that disclaimer in all his videos that he got paid to play or make. He would put that in all his videos regardless. Why would he now suddenly not do that?
I firmly believe that it is unfair that PewDiePie is kind of being misrepresented in these articles, saying that he's like the biggest offender and he participated in this campaign, yada, yada, yada. The bottom line is the guy did disclose in the description of his videos that he was part of this advertisement campaign, so the last thing you can accuse him of is being dishonest and trying to fool his viewers into thinking that his gameplay of Shadows of Mordor was legit. But, and there's a huge
Listen to
but
this.
to this statement. A lot of people aren't angry about that. A lot of people don't care about that. I don't care if you did a paid advertisement and disclosed it. I just care that you did a paid advertisement. Because let's face it, everyone knows the story of PewDiePie, the guy who was this not known. He wasn't a popular guy on the internet, and all of a sudden he just took a webcam and started screaming during playing horror games and stuff, and he got viral popularity off of that. So then he started doing other playthroughs, and next thing you know, now he's jumping and becoming one of the biggest YouTubers and virally,
I'm gonna be honest, the only time I ever heard about PewDiePie was that he donates, I don't know if he donates all or some or whatever, but he does donate to charity. He takes the money he makes off of YouTube and he puts it to charity. I don't know, again, I don't know if it's all the money from YouTube or just a percentage of it. Either way, he donates to a charity, which is fine. I good on him. But, like, I like how he just said, like, oh, he's not being honest, he's being honest about it, but he did a paid advertisement, and
exponential growth and all of that. He's basically kind of the Cinderella story of YouTube.
Cinderella
story.
story,
Huge
okay.
budget. He didn't have a bunch of promotion. He didn't have all these people behind him, but he's become the most popular YouTuber. And to think that the biggest, most popular YouTuber ever, who basically came from nothing, is now putting out videos that are 100% fabricated because he's only
one video.
positive things about a game, a lot of people are now going to kind of have the wool taken off of their eyes and say, wow, well, I never realized that. I'm not watching PewDiePie anymore because anything I watch on that channel any given day could be a paid advertisement.
What is this logic? He put in the description of the video that was paid as a paid advertisement that it was a paid advertisement. Why would he all of a sudden not do that anymore? Why? How would it, if I, let's say I was a PewDiePie subscriber and I watched his Shadow of Mordor review, and unless I didn't read the description at that time when it came out, then I just found out about the scandal, and then I look back at the video and I see in the description that it says that it was a paid advertisement. Then I would say to myself, well, if he was this transparent about having a paid advertisement, then I guess I should read all the descriptions of his videos to make sure that they're all legitimate videos. So really, all PewDiePie has done is taught a lesson to viewers that they should read the descriptions. And that is actually a good lesson because the descriptions are helpful in some videos. If you want information on something, I mean, maybe the answer is within the description. I know sometimes when I'm looking for answers that maybe the video doesn't cover, I go to the description to see their sources, to see see if there's a link to a song that they put in or whatever. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look at all that stuff. The descriptions exist for a reason. So all this did was teach these people who never looked at descriptions to start looking at descriptions.
That's illegitimate. And the bottom line is this.
So,
most people who watch YouTube don't do their due diligence.
Yeah,
they're not going to look at every video they watch. They're not going to check the video description and read through all these lines, because the bottom line is most of the...
But after this event, you're going to. But let's take a trip. A trippy trip. I'm using the hot Apple Safari browser. Shadow of Mordor PewDiePie review. Bum ba bum bum bum. Does he do reviews? Well, I got an idea. Go to his channel. Very hot images. Shadow of Mordor review. I guess it's this one. Let's look at his description. This video is sponsored by Warner Bros. See, it says it right there. You don't have to read so many lines of text. There's, let's see, 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line. It's on the 5th line. So let's move this up. Yeah, I guess you would have to hit show more, which, yeah, I guess that's kind of shitty. You have to hit show more to see that. I mean, yeah, that should be moved up, in my opinion, but it's still not that hard to find. It took me like a second. So yeah, if I was like watching, yeah, it's so fucking dumb that yeah, his fans aren't gonna check his descriptions because there's so many lines of text that they can't read. It's not a fucking legal document. God damn.
Fucking video descriptions are tons of advertisement. Anyway, do you want to sift through all of that to see?
Okay, actually, no, we're gonna go back to that video because I wanna. Because I just realized something. We can do this nice, great comparison. I know I gave him like double views, but why? Whatever. Let's see. He's plugging 1, 2, 3, 4 things, and there's like he's plugging Warner Brothers and then Twitter and Facebook. So, not including Warner Brothers. Let's just include things that PewDiePie actively would plug in every of his videos, which would be this and these 2 things. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly 6. Let's see in this video particular how many things that Phil plugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 things. Even if you take this out, that's 7 things. So he's leading by 1. But this is more of a mess than PewDiePie. So yeah. Yeah, okay.
Somewhere in there it says, oh, by the way, this video is a paid advertisement.
Somewhere in there. See, I just did quick research on it, and I found out that it's actually really quick to find where it says that it's a paid, it's a sponsored video. It's very easy to find. It's not that hard.
And not legit. Most people aren't going to do that. And so when they hear, well, PewDiePie does paid advertisements, they're going to say, well, that's all his videos. They're paid advertisements, or at least...
But if they look at PewDiePie's response, which they're probably gonna do, they're going to say, he said it put in the description. Okay, so I should look at the description, or or whatever.
Not going to check every one of his videos to see if it's a paid advertisement, so screw him, and they're going to move on. And you know what? Too bad for PewDiePie.
Yeah,
because
too bad.
You took the paycheck. Like, when you do these paid advertisement campaigns, that's the double-edged sword that you're dealing with.
Yeah, okay.
So the second that you signed on the dotted line and took that tens of thousands of dollars paycheck for the Shadow of Mordor ad campaign, you risked losing the legitimacy of your viewership because your videos are no longer going to be viewed as legitimate. Now, for some people, they won't give a shit. Well, everything I do on YouTube, I do for money, so I don't care. Now, I don't know PewDiePie personally. Maybe he does take offense. Maybe he does actually love gaming, and he loves what he does for a living, and he wants to continue doing this, and he wants to continue covering games for his whole life. And
of course he's
now
going.
He's angry because now his reputation is tarnished because of all this.
He's not gonna get angry because he's not gonna lose that. It's not like the Fine Bros thing where it's like he's trying to copyright Let's Plays or something. I mean, it's just he's not gonna care. And the thing is that it doesn't. I think he just put that response video and then left it and let it be because that response video covered it.
Be a controversy, right? But he has to take the blame for it because he's the one who actively decided to lose legitimacy by participating in this campaign. I'll give you an example.
That's such bullshit because if this was Phil, let's say that Phil was in PewDiePie's shoes, he would do a video saying, "It's not my fault, it's Warner Brothers. Because they went out and paid me to do this review, and I need money, guys." He would say some kind of half-assed excuse why he had to take the paycheck. Like, what a fucking liar. And the other thing is that, like, with PewDiePie, say what you will, but he at least... I haven't watched a lot of his videos, but I can assume that he might at least appreciate his fans. Like he has his own little comment section that he has with his viewers. He still does videos for fun. I mean, I'm sure this whole thing it's not gonna stop him. But Phil manipulates his own viewers. Whatever. Let's continue.
A couple years back with the launch of the Xbox One, Machinima, who is, disclosure, that's the company who I'm partnered with on YouTube. They're my partnership company. All my channels are partnered with Machinima.
Yeah, we know.
And they're the reason that I make money on YouTube videos, all right? But I don't work for Machinima. I'm just an independent...
I don't work for Machinima. I just get paid by them. So if you don't work for them, why do they pay you? And if you don't work for them, why do you have to talk to them when you were thinking about doing a Rock Band 4 playthrough? Why did he have to do that? And how did you get free games from them if you don't work for them? Guess what, Phil? You work for Machinima. Surprise!
Independent contractor signed under them, okay? They had a campaign
yeah, okay.
with the launch of the Xbox.
He's an independent contractor. Yeah, okay, sure. In case you guys don't know, the way that YouTube works is that the companies you work for, you go through a network that they pay you, so you work for this network. He has stated multiple times that his relationship with Machinima is that of a boss and employee relationship. He has said that in many videos. Like, I think he even said that in his latest Ask the King. Like, he said, like, well, Machinima doesn't pair me up with other people within their network. Like, he works for them.
One, that any video that you made on the Xbox One, you would get a bounty, meaning you would make extra money on it if you participated in this campaign. But to participate in the campaign, you had to put all this kind of legal mumbo-jumbo in the description of your video, and you had to submit your video through this third-party kind of website and get it approved and all of that.
Now, I want to ask you guys something, because I do kind of remember seeing that DSP was involved in that program. I can't say for sure, and I don't want to say it as a fact because I don't want to sound like an idiot if I'm wrong. But just as a request, you don't have to do this. This is just me asking a favor. If you guys can find the video or proof or whatever that he participated in that program, please, please, please put it in the comments. Because I'm pretty sure he was part of this program, but I can't say it for sure, and I don't want to say it as a fact.
In addition to that, you basically only had to say positive things. If you said anything negative about the Xbox One, your video could not be submitted for this bounty program. Now, I full well knew when I covered the launch of both the PS4 and the Xbox One, there were going to be positives and negatives. And again, I pride myself on that the videos that I put out are legitimate. All right? And now when you watch my videos, you're going to get my honest reactions and my opinions about what's good and what's bad. And I think we should all be honest here. The launch of the Xbox One was far from faultless. There were tons of things that were just weird about the console. Remember, it launched only with the Kinect, and the Kinect barely even worked. You can check all that out on DSP Gaming, by the way. I had all that coverage of the launch of the console on my gaming channel, DSP Gaming, and boy, was it hilarious what a joke that thing was, trying to tell it to search for stuff, and it wasn't even finding it. It was silly. But the reason that my coverage was so popular and successful was because I was real. Imagine if every video I put about the Xbox One, wow, the Kinect is awesome, guys. Look, I'm going through the menus, and it's perfectly matching everything I say. When in reality, it only matched what I said about 20% of the time. But imagine if I edited out all of the fails of the Xbox One's Kinect and said that it worked perfectly. So now people are like, wow, this console's great. I'm going to run out and buy an Xbox One because it works perfectly. They go home, they hook it up, and the Kinect doesn't work for them. I would kind of lose some credibility. You know what I mean? Now, in particular, in regards to this particular sponsorship deal with the Xbox One, Machinima got into hot water because they did not require that legally the people who had these bounty videos and made extra money disclose that their videos were paid advertisements. And they got sued and they got in trouble. Just like Warner Brothers just did, Machinima went through the same damned thing. All right? But I knew better. Back then, during the launch of the Xbox One, I saw the program, I saw what it was, I saw the requirements, and I said, by no means am I going to participate in this fucking program. Now, I could take a giant paycheck, and in fact, I probably would have made thousands of extra dollars if I had participated in that program and only said positive things, but I fucking knew better. I didn't go for the quick buck, I went for the long term. And I said, if I'm legit, I'll have people who follow me because I'm legit and not because I'm making shit up or keeping the truth out of my videos for the sake of advertising something and misleading my viewership, alright?
But he always misleads his viewers, all the time. He said last year that he was going to go to his girlfriend's brother's wedding, and he couldn't play Fallout 4. And then when Fallout 4 came out, he's like, well, I'm not going to the wedding. I never said that I was going to the wedding, and all this stuff. And he says all this manipulative thing. And also, if you look at his Patreon, I'm starting to think that Phil was the one sending false pledges. It's a theory. I can't say it for sure, but I have a feeling he was the one sending false pledges. So it'd be interesting now to see how he gets around, because his Patreon is like in the 900 still. So that's
sadly
great.
That's what PewDiePie and many of these top YouTubers did, and I hate to tell you, they do it all the time. This is an opportunity they get all the fucking time. So if you're watching one of the super popular YouTubers and all of a sudden they're playing a game, right? And they're, oh, look, here's a drink. Oh, Dasani water. Oh, it's so good and refreshing. You got to take it with a grain of salt, and you got to understand that more times often than not.
So should we take you with a grain of salt when you start plugging Loot Crate and the Black Currant? Should we start taking you with a grain of salt when you were part of the Amazon Associates program, when you weren't supposed to talk about the your perk and you did? When you were part of Amazon's Associates link, should we take you with a grain of salt when you were trying to get it sponsored earlier this year?
They're probably taking a paycheck because YouTube is the advertisement medium for youth. They know that younger people are watching YouTube and that this is where they need to throw their advertisement dollars, not television, because almost no young people are watching the live TV anymore, with the exception of a few shows here and there. So
Well, now with that clarification, that kind of makes sense, but I don't think anyone's gonna stop watching TV, and I think it is still uh, the primary source of advertisement. Like it definitely is because it definitely is.
The thing that's the real controversy behind this Warner Brothers scandal. It's not that PewDiePie did disclose or didn't disclose that he did a paid advertisement campaign for Shadows of Mordor. It's that he did it just in general, and that he destroyed the legitimacy of his videos. That any video, any day he puts out could be an ad, and you have to basically go through every line of text in the description of his videos.
Yeah, just you know, it's on the fifth line. It's just one click away from finding out if you really care that much if you're watching an ad or not. It's very easy to figure out. It's not that complicated. I mean, the only thing I would argue is I feel that it should have been on the top. But other than that, it's really not that big of a deal.
See if anything is a paid advertisement. Who the fuck wants to do that? You know what I mean? And there are other YouTubers out there, like myself, who are legit and don't fucking do that shit.
Yeah, he's
we're smarter
legit.
than that. And we know that having longevity on YouTube and being able to operate a business that prides itself on honesty and loyalty.
A business. A business. You know what businesses do? They get money. So they care about money, and Phil cares about money. So that's right there. You kind of admit that if I want to make money, I have to be this and this and this. Does that sound like a very genuine YouTuber? Like, if I went out of my way and I said, guys, if I want you to keep watching my videos, I have to do this and this and this and this and this, and I have to be sure I talk about my channel, so you guys can go there, and then you give me that ad money, because obviously, that's what you guys want to do, right? I mean, it's shitty. I mean, yeah, I plug my own stuff because it's stuff that I made. I don't plug other people's shit at all. Not even on my videos. I only plug me. Me, because it's my work that I put in. I made, like, artwork and stuff. I worked on reviews. I worked on playthroughs. I mean, yeah, the game itself isn't mine, but, like, I made the video. That's as far as I go. I mean, I don't make money on gameplay videos because I don't monetize those. I think I only monetized one. But other than that, my general rule of thumb is I don't monetize. The only one I monetized was the Skullgirls match I did for a while. But I don't... No, it was a story mode. I monetized a story mode. But other than that, I don't... I kind of don't feel... I think I'm going to unmonetize it because I don't like making that monetized. But at the same time, people have ad blocks, so I don't really care. So if you don't want to give me any money, that's fine. Just put ad block on. I don't care.
And morality is more important than the cheap payout. But that's how these YouTubers are making a living. They're getting big because they're getting these crazy opportunities. And now the whole lid's blown off. That's what the controversy of the Warner Brothers scandal is.
The lid is blown off. Everyone knew that these people were getting paid. I mean, Game Grumps are being sponsored by Crunchyroll. And I'm sure they're getting paid by other companies. JonTron is paid by audiobooks. All these YouTubers are being paid somewhere. So you know where they're coming from. Phil, you'll never know because he'll never state it unless it's like, unless it's like his Patreon or some shit.
Doesn't seem to get that. He thinks, oh, it's because I didn't disclose in the description of my video. Oh, I did, so they're all slanderous. Yeah, in regards to that one particular part of the scandal, you're absolutely right. They lied or they misrepresented the truth about PewDiePie. But the fact that he is part of the advertisement campaign in itself...
But that was the only argument PewDiePie brought up, was that I did not deceive my viewers. That's the only thing he focused on. He didn't talk about it being a paid video or trying to make it, or trying to say that's a legitimate review. He just said, yeah, I got paid for it. That was his only argument. Other than that, he probably, because he already admitted that he took a paycheck.
Is the controversy here. And it's interesting, because earlier in this video, look at the big YouTubers who came out in PewDiePie's defense. Oh, this is a witch hunt. This is, them trying to seek down the most popular YouTuber and bring him down just because of jealousy or because it would get them cheap clicks on their articles. And I'll be honest here, in a lot of ways it's probably true. But now...
It is true because you made this video, Phil. You made this video to get that click view. Come on.
I have to say, gee, that particular big YouTuber just defended PewDiePie in their own video or in the comments of his video, don't you think that maybe they do the same fucking thing? You know what I mean? Like, why do you think they're defending him? If anything, just fucking stay out of it, right? But no, if they're coming to the defense, don't you think maybe there's some buyer's remorse or guilt there that they're probably participating in the same kind of shit too? And so for them, they're like, oh, this is...
But he's also participating in it. But he's trying to... But he has... See, that's the other thing. The fact... It's like my stance when people say, look, I'm not racist, and this and that, then they say something like, that's racist. Like, you shouldn't have to say that, if you're not racist, you're not racist. You don't have to start or say somewhere in your discussion that, oh, I'm not racist, and go on that, and try to defend yourself that way. Because if you're not racist, you're not racist. And if you're not trying to gain, like, oh, I'm not trying, all this stuff, then why do you spend, like, 10 minutes trying to defend his channels, like saying like, oh, see, I don't get paid, I don't take bribes, and blah blah blah.
Totally unfair that they would get only point out PewDiePie when all of us are doing it too, but we all disclose it. Doesn't matter. The problem is you took the paid advertisement to begin with.
But like if they disclose it, then I can just sit there and be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna watch that video, or I'm not gonna listen to him. It's just it really doesn't matter if they disclose it or not. If they disclose it, actually. If they don't disclose it, that's a whole other argument. That's a whole other can of worms. But if they're open and transparent about it, it's not that big of a deal, because it's not like that they're trying to deceive you for some ulterior motive. Phil has an ulterior motive, like, all the time. He always tries to manipulate his viewers, and is trying to manipulate his fans into giving him money and watching his videos. Like, I kind of covered this in my video before, but he kind of conditioned his viewers to care about views, because at the time, that's how he made money. But now he's like trying to get them to spread the word, get free advertisement off them, and all this kind of stuff. But it's just, he's so manipulative to his own fan base that it makes himself look very manipulative, and it's not very transparent when people start to poke holes. Like, if you honestly look back into DSP's past, like if you look through his old videos, his tweets, you start to see things that don't line up with what DSP says. And if anyone with any rational mind can see that this guy is dishonest, and he doesn't even realize it. He hides the truth. He claims that, like, oh, Homefront the Revolution is the worst game he has ever played, while he has said other games are the worst games he's ever played. He says that, like, I don't participate in YouTube drama, but he's participating in YouTube drama 3 times. He shat on people doing E3 vlogs. He did E3 vlogs. He does all this stuff, and he doesn't realize that there's a way that people can find it and say, look, Phil, you are an asshole that lies. You said you're doing this, and now you're doing what you said you hated. And then you would hide behind some excuse saying like, oh, well, I changed over the years, and all this kind of stuff, and that's just that. An excuse. The change didn't feel sudden, didn't feel genuine, because he never said, no, I apologize for my previous statements on this thing. He just said, no, I changed, and that's it. Like, if someone calls him out on his E3 thing, he'll say either that, well, I've changed my mind. And it's like, but you never alluded to that. You never said, oh, well, I was wrong with what I said. Or he's going to say, no, mine is different, mine has a point, and theirs don't, or whatever. He's going to use all his excuses to hide the fact that he is a con man.
And your legitimacy is absolutely fucking destroyed. Now listen. Is PewDiePie going to be destroyed by this controversy? Fuck no. In fact, if you actually go to the video he released today, and you just look at the comments, the first 1,000 comments are, we'll support you no matter what. No matter what. So if PewDiePie on camera went out and took a kitten and ripped its fucking head off, we support you no matter what.
Wow, way to jump to conclusions there, buddy. When they say we will defend you no matter what, that doesn't mean that they're going to ignore unethical, grotesque bullshit. That's not what that means, Phil. You know what words mean. When people say they will support you no matter what, that means that no matter what scandal or what, stuff that is reasonable that happens, they'll still support him. Just obviously, if he does fucking nasty shit, people are gonna naturally leave. Now, yeah, there are some people in the world that likes people, for the wrong reasons. Like, you know, I could point out Keemstar or like this guy. I mean, there's definitely. I mean, he's an easy target though, to be honest. But like, there are people who will defend DSP no matter what. There are people who still defend him after he stole $1,250 for Project 7, gave them nothing in return, and then took their money again for a Patreon's multiplayer event that he could have done for free. But they still support him. Now, does that mean that I think these people are inept or morally corrupt? No. I mean, if they want to support Phil, that's their decision. I'm not gonna say that these people are insane or lunatics for that. I mean, I think Ash and Hardcore Parkour and Sammy, shout out to those three idiots, those three people are the most lunatic fringe in DSP's community. I mean, KG, yeah, he's a little weird, but I mean, he at least called Phil out for Project 7. That's the only thing I could sit there and was like, well, at least he knows a scam when he sees one. Hardcore Parkour, Sammy, and Ash probably don't give a fuck that this guy takes their money and wipes his ass with it. They don't care. They're fucking idiots.
That's how these people are. That's the crazy mentality of a fan base on YouTube, is that they just they'll forgive anything for their most popular celebrities and their personalities and all of that, right?
Phil just talked about his own fans here. Well, about the big three idiots that I mentioned before. That these people will defend him no matter what. They're the crazy YouTube fan base that will eat Phil's stupid persona that makes no fucking sense because they're idiots.
I think that's insane.
Insane! Hear that, Sammy, Ash, and Hardcore Parkour? He thinks you're insane. And I agree. I agree with Phil. You guys are insane. You need to get your head checked out.
To let anyone do anything that they do, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But the bottom line is, most people who watch PewDiePie probably don't give a shit. Because, let's face it, when you watch his videos, are you looking for a legitimate gamer going through and giving their honest reactions, or are you looking for his overreaction, or his comedy, or his personality shining through to give you a cheap laugh? That's what most people watch his.
How do you know? How do you know why people watch PewDiePie? I mean, like, even I say this from time to time. I can see a little bit why people would watch DSP. Especially when I saw his older videos, when I was going through the Almighty Challenge. I said this in multiple videos in that series, that, when I was watching his old Street Fighter videos, I could see why people would watch him. I could see why he was an entertaining YouTuber during those playthroughs, because he said the most ridiculous things, and it was kind of funny in a way. I mean, yeah, he was still kind of an asshole when he was younger, I guess, but, there was still something there that I could kind of understand. Now, it's just kind of, he's an empty shell of what he was, and it's just kind of, why? Why would anyone watch this? He's washed up.
Videos for. They're not looking for PewDiePie, the most serious gamer on the internet, providing only the most legitimate of coverage of every game. No. That's not what he's known for. So I don't think that this is going to really significantly.
How do you know what he's known for if you've never watched any of his videos or cared about him? You don't care about PewDiePie. How do you know his appeal? Like, I mean, I casually care about DSP, and I kind of get the appeal to him. People love his rage. Well, his new rage. They love his playthroughs, and they love his reviews, and they love his Twitter, and they love him.
Hurt him, only for people who are so fucking naive, right?
Naive,
That they
oh.
thought that what these big YouTubers are putting out there is 100% true and truthful, and never would they actually say or do something that's not true. You're out of your mind if that's what you believe, and you got to really wake up to the real world and how it works.
Wow.
And I know for a lot of younger audience, you know, teenagers who are just being aware of this world around this commercial world, right? That this is an eye-opening experience.
But see, then again, like he always thinks children and teenagers are idiots, so he thinks lowly of them. But like everyone knows, like when I was a kid, I understood commercials. Like that's like the first thing when you turn on the TV. That's the first thing you understand. Like it's not a whole new world when someone tells you this is a commercial. Like come on.
Yeah, the sooner you realize that this is how the world is, the better. Now, there will be able to find legitimate people, but they're few and far between, and the bottom line is they're not rich. They're not the ones at the top, and they never will be. Because how do you think you get those opportunities? You know what I mean? If early on in my YouTube career, I decided to be a clown, and everything I did was going to be for
He is
a
a
cheap
clown.
laugh, and I was going to only do...
He does cheap laughs. What the fuck is he smoking?
Highlight reels and montages of the funniest or the silliest or my biggest fails or all of that, and not give you the legitimate gameplay experience that I've given you for the past 7 to 8 years, I probably would be way more fucking popular on YouTube. I also would have no legitimacy, and I wouldn't enjoy what I'm doing for a living daily, and I wouldn't want to do it anymore. But I would take the paycheck.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the big difference
Sure.
between different kinds of YouTube.
Sure, that's why you were looking for a sponsor. That's why you have all these plugs in your descriptions. That's why you ask for people to donate. Because you do it for fun. And, you know, you never did it for money. Even though you call your viewers customers. And you call your channel a business. It's just a bonus.
That you have to realize when you watch these scandals unfold. All right? That's my reaction and my take on the subject. What do you think? Leave a comment on this video. Let me know what you think about the whole.
Oh my god, let's look at the comments. Let's take a look. So I guess you disclosed in the review of Fallout 4 that you got a copy for free, right? Actually, yes I did! And in the entire playthrough as well. Damn. Why have you not covered CSGO gambling shitstorm? Oh, what happens if you fap life on YouTube? Hilarious how people dislike and call out Phil for talking shit on PewDiePie when they haven't watched the video at all. Oh, the surprise they get when they see Phil defending Pewds of being falsely accused. He kind of didn't defend him. He defended him for like a little bit. Then he was like, no. Then he turned around and said no. If anyone actually watched, he mentions that PewDiePie does disclose the fact it's an ad campaign. He moreover talks about YouTube money as a whole and fan credibility. Sadly, most of the who dislike the video and leave a negative comment will never watch it. Nature of the YouTube beast, where children are allowed to roam freely. Off topic, will you cover? Oh my god, really? 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 Wow. Why did you come here? Leave PewDiePie alone, okay. Why have you... Oh my god. Do a reaction... These are reaction vids! Oh my god. Am I the only one who had no idea what fucking happened? What about oh my god, no. Do they break US law when the person lives across seas? They do, since YouTube is a US based company, but it gets really complicated with that stuff when it comes to actually filing what? I feel that there's something wrong with that logic. I just have a feeling. This is old news, and PewDiePie said in his description that this video were sponsored. You watched? Yeah, okay. You look scared at the start. Yeah, well, it's his lazy editing. At least PewDiePie didn't masturbate live on stream. but it wasn't instated on YouTube until 2015, not 2014. But either way, PewDiePie. Yeah, okay. That's it for this video. Yeah, I am gonna upload my Life is Strange playthrough, which ended up being very fucking weird because I ended up recording in 3 parts for no reason because the first part, since I was recording through my laptop, through the PlayStation Remote Play, the Wi-Fi gave out on me for some reason. Only the computer Wi-Fi gave out. I don't know why. I mean, I was still able to. I was still connected to the Wi-Fi on every other device, but not my laptop. And then I got to reconnect, so I continued. And then I got a interruption by the doorbell, and I had to stop there. So I have like 3 videos I have to edit together. But that's gonna come out. I am gonna upload my Endor of his Zelda Twilight Princess video gameplay that he did. I'm gonna upload that, and yeah, I still have to do the All-Made Challenge. But other than that, thanks for watching. This was a long video than I anticipated. So if you like this video, you know what to do. And if your name is Ash, be sure to count the views, because obviously I can't just go to my video manager and see the number. Even if I did care, I just, I need someone to tell me the views, because obviously it matters. Apparently, I apparently do this for views. Not because this is fun for me or anything. No, I do it for popularity. Okay, that's it. That's it for me. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good night, good day, whatever it is.